It's absolutely stressful thinking about where you're going to live, being like refugees. There's no security.
For the Jones family, every day feels like a gamble.
I'm concerned for the welfare of the family, my wife and my kids. Without proper structural remedial work, the building could collapse.
Their 10-storey apartment building in southwest Sydney crumbling before their eyes. These props holding disaster at bay for now.
There's cracks in the walls, people have leaking bathrooms. My car parking spot's been taken up by a temporary pylon. It looks like something post-apocalyptic.
New South Wales Building Commissioner last week warning inadequate beams and support columns could render the tower uninhabitable.
I just feel we've just been let down because we did the best we could. We did the research, we did all the consulting, and there's nothing we could have done.
The cost of repair could be as much as $50 million, a tab owners fear they'll be left with after the building's developer, Toplace, went into administration on Friday. Toplace's founder, Jean Nassif, now overseas and on the run after police issued a warrant for his arrest. The accusation? Large-scale fraud related to the funding of his property empire. It's a particularly dramatic version of an all-too-familiar tale.
Sydney high-rise was evacuated.
The crumbling Opal Tower.
Faulty Mascot Tower
is actually sinking.
Now residents have been told
to get out.
As many as 5 New South Wales apartment blocks are currently on the brink of an Opal Towers style evacuation because of property defects. And last week in Victoria, hundreds of dodgy balconies were discovered during removal of flammable cladding, similar to that of the La Crosse Tower disaster. Desperate homeowners pleading for tougher penalties for shonky operators.
We feel like we've been left alone to fend for this without the government support that we really need.
We need better regulations. We would like Toplace to fix our building. This is our home. This is where all our money is funneling into. Essentially, we just want our home.
Patrick Quintal is another one of the owners living alongside Michael and Jenna inside the Vicinity building. Patrick, you've said that you think about this when you leave for work. You wake up, dream and waking up under the rubble. That's what you dream about. This is all very scary stuff. What else goes through your mind?
Yeah, look, it's quite an emotional toll, right? Like it's basically a battle of attrition, really. I mean, every waking moment, you think about the building that you're living in and how safe it is. And then I start worrying about the other residents who also don't know what to do, and the other residents who no longer live here because the bank has foreclosed on them. Like, I see this kind of stuff every day, and you know, it gets worse and worse over time.
What's the financial impact been on you and your partner?
Yeah, when we moved in, the strata levies were about $900 a quarter. They've skyrocketed to about $4,000 a quarter, and that's just for the quarterly bill alone. There are special levies that come in every time we need to do something that vary from $1,000 to $2,000. So the financial impact is basically I'm financially ruined, really. I got nowhere else to go. I can't refinance, I can't remortgage, I can't get another loan, I can't really do anything.
And you can't sell because you're here telling us that the place is effectively worthless. So it's not worth what you paid for it. I mean, that's right. It's a catch-22 situation, it seems, every direction you look. What are your options now?
Yeah, we don't really have many options, right? You know, the government is barely involved. We've got a few good people in the Department of Fair Trading that they're trying really hard, but with the tools they've been given, they can't do much. And we get told that we got to pay for the structural supports. We get told that, oh, we got to fix this and that. But the government the entire time hasn't helped out at all. The only thing they've done is obviously told us what needs to be rectified, but aside from that, nothing else.
Right, having not policed in the first place that it was built according to the standards, that would mean this wouldn't need to be rectified.
Exactly. Look, this is a government-made disaster, right? You know, we talk about the Lismore floods where it's a natural disaster, but people knew that it was a flood zone. Whereas in my situation, it's a completely government-made disaster, right? There was a report that came out damning the building industry, and shortly after that, the building commissioner's office got made. Like, the government is responsible for it. It's their responsibility, it's the council's responsibility, it's the federal government's responsibility, and yet they're happy to sit idly by and do nothing.
What do you want to see done? Like, what would you want to see from government here?
My hope is a buyout scheme, or at least them talking with us and actually helping us through the financial stress. Like, this is not something I want anyone to go through, right? They've effectively ended the lives of 276 owners or more from their own ineptitude of regulating the building industry, right? And this is just my complex alone. If you think about how many buildings Toplace have built and those owners don't know who to turn to, we're now talking like thousands, tens of thousands of people who their lives are now permanently on hold until, a miracle happens, basically.
Patrick, thank you so much for your time. We're so sorry this is happening to you.
Thank you.